Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, it's day 4 of my long weekend and it looks like the weather is going to cooperate. It's about 6:30 a.m. and the guys are here and they're hooking up all the rebar right now, and hopefully we're going to have a cement truck here in the next hour or so and we're going to get the patio poured. So let's get going. So what they're doing right now is they're attaching all the intersections of the rebar together with wire, just so it all sticks together when they pour the concrete. That'll help, like I said, strengthen up the concrete and make sure that it doesn't ever crack. Alright, so what they're doing now is they're kind of just masking the side of the house so they don't get concrete all over the house. That's probably a good thing. I know when they did the patio in my house in California, they didn't do a very good job of that and they ended up spraying concrete all over the side of the house. So that looked really ugly up until the point where until I had to repaint the thing just a few years ago and could cover over all that. So I'm glad they're taking a little precautions to avoid getting paint on the house or getting concrete on the house. That's no fun. It's a mess. But it also means I'm not going to be able to use that door for a while. Good thing I opened the garage, right? So I got the GoPro going today. I want to capture time-lapse photography of the whole thing going on today, of everything being filled. I tried doing this yesterday, but it was kind of a last-minute thing, decision I made, and I could not get the GoPro to sync up with my cell phone, which is how you control the thing. I ended up spending a bunch of time with it last night, and actually ended up just resetting the camera and turning it back to its original factory settings. And once I did that, I was able to resync it and get it working. So hopefully we'll get some good GoPro footage out of this. If I do, I'll post that as a separate video on the channel so you can look at this. Alright, I gotta admit, this wasn't what I envisioned when I imagined a portable cement mixer, but I guess that's gonna move a lot more in. And then he just goes back out to the cement truck and gets some more. And these guys do all the spreading. Getting a little spray back here. And for those of you who watched my Yellow Rose of Texas vlog a couple weeks ago, it's already starting to bloom all over the place, so doing well. Now I've seen concrete work be done in the past where you have the rebar, and usually they'll put like little concrete footings underneath the rebar to lift it up. But I guess they kind of understand why they're not doing that in this case. What they do is when they dump the concrete, they actually lift the rebar up manually, and that's probably a necessity when you're using that kind of a little portable truck to move the concrete around, because otherwise you'd be driving over the rebar that's 2 inches off the ground. And so, you know, another one of those things that I wouldn't have thought of, and you know, well, I would have thought of it when I tried to bring the thing in here, but I wouldn't have thought of it ahead of time. So another reason for calling the pros. It's interesting, this has only been going on for about 30 minutes and they're already almost halfway done, at least in terms of pouring the concrete. They're gonna spend a bunch of time getting it all smoothed out and nice and flat and all that. But so they're putting the wall back on this little section of the framing here. They had to pull that off so they could get in there with the little truck. But now I think they're pretty much done to the point where they're gonna close everything back off here and just do everything from outside now. And then this guy over here, he's already starting to do some of the smoothing. Just filling in the holes now. That's really the key to all this. You got to just keep it nice and smooth and nice and level. And then they'll run over it when they get all the concrete into place and smooth it all out. And in a day, we'll be able to walk on this. Can you imagine me trying to do this on my own? Yeah, no way. Starting to get the excess concrete now and pull it into the pathway. This is going to be a little bit more nuanced work now because he can't just dump the whole load. Looks to me like 1 or 2 more loads, so ought to finish the job. he's still got more in there too. Yeah, maybe one more load. Now we just get into the smoothing phase. And this is where we're going to get it all nice and smooth, and so it'll be nice to walk on with bare feet. Guy asked me how smooth I wanted it to be, and basically I said I want it to be smooth enough to be able to walk on with bare feet, but rough enough so it doesn't become slick when it's wet. Cleaning off the side of the house, that's probably a good thing. Also cleaning up all the poles too. You got a little bit on the poles, so that was a good thing too. Now's the time to get it off when it's all nice and soft. You do it afterwards and it's gonna be like getting rock off. Another one of the reasons you leave this up to the professionals. I don't have all these cool tools. I would have spent more money getting the equipment to do this myself than it'll cost to pay somebody else to do it. I think he's noticing there's a little bit of a low spot there, so he's going to have to go in and kind of fill that in a little bit over here. I was noticing that when he was going through here too, so fortunately you get a little bit of bleed through, so there's more concrete in here. He'll do fine. And now we're just sort of in cleanup phase here. They got to do a little smoothing out on the path yet, but I think they're about to send the concrete truck away and just picking up a little of the waste. Alright, it's a little after 12 o'clock. They've pretty much wrapped up here. They still got a little bit of their equipment to haul off, but the owner of the company has to come back and pick up that stuff. And he's also going to get his check, so I'm sure he'll come back at some point. But they got it all nice and smoothed off. They put a nice little texture coat on it, and I think that's going to help a lot. They specifically asked me how, what kind of a texture I wanted on the concrete, and I specifically said, well, since it's a walkway out to the pool, I want it to be smooth enough that you can walk on it with bare feet, and yet rough enough that it doesn't become slippery when it's wet. And I think they kind of hit that level. This should be pretty good. There might be a little bit of texture on it that might be a little too much, but that'll wear off shortly, and I think this is going to be real nice. Now I technically can walk on it almost about now, but they said don't rub my feet in it, don't like twist my feet or anything like that, because I could still damage it. I'm going to play it safe. I'm not going to touch this thing until tomorrow night when I get home from work. That'll give it plenty of time to dry, and make sure that there is no damage. Then I can start putting everything back onto it. Also, we're still maybe supposed to get a little rain tonight. That shouldn't be a problem, they say. Like I said, if I can walk on it now, I'll probably be able to have it rain on it in 6 hours. If it doesn't rain, I think I do want to run the sprinklers, because I've kind of been reluctant to do that because I didn't want to get too wet back here when they were going to be, driving tractors around here. I mean, they already did enough damage with the tractor out here, so that's going to be a future project to do a little resodding back here, but that's okay. I guess I kind of knew that was going to be an issue when they said they were going to bring a tractor back here. So they managed to keep it just in one area. They didn't really do a whole lot of damage over there, so that's good. I still got some big chunks of flagstone and stuff like that I'm going to have to clear out, because right now that's blocking Flash's cave, and she can't get in there right now. And like I said yesterday, some of those stones are going to be pretty big. I might have to cut them into pieces before I can even move them, but we'll cross that bridge at some point in the near future and go from there. So anyway, I think that is all that I have for today. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.